Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back, and welcome to macOS 15 Sequoia iPhone mirroring app part 2. Okay, now pretty much every YouTuber out there on the planet, especially the Apple specific tech channels, are all like a bunch of little kids right now. Oh, this is so wonderful. Look at all you can do. Oh, Apple, you are so amazing. And it's like, I feel like hurling at this point, because I mean, like, seriously, you're that excited over this thing? I'm really not that excited. However, I think it is a cool app. I think it works well, except for a few things. Number one, you will not have any camera access. So if you are also using your iPhone as a continuity camera, guess what? Ain't gonna work. Not while you're running this app, at least. Which also means no FaceTime access either on your phone while you're running this app, because it ain't gonna work. You got no camera access. Anyway, it also means no microphone access. That's another problem, okay? And no speakers. Your speakers will be rerouted though to your computer, okay? So if you want to watch YouTube videos on your little phone app there, okay, you can do that, no big deal. Watch your videos, all the sounds ported to your Mac speaker. So not a big deal, right? Okay, I agree. That's exciting. No microphone though, kind of sucks. Now if you do have an external microphone, or even if you do have a microphone built into your Mac because it's an iMac or a MacBook, well, that's not going to work for you either because, well, it's looking for a phone microphone via the app, and, well, that's not accessible, okay? So there are a number of apps that will not work, period, on your phone, but there are quite a number that will, okay? I even have, like, hunting call programs because, of course, I'm going hunting this year, and I've got skunk calls. We're trying to get rid of skunks, so that's why we have skunk call program. Got turkey calls, got crow calls, got all kinds of calls, okay? Even got all my deer stuff for deer season, for deer calls on the apps, and grouse calls for grouse hunting. Speaking of which, I guess I'm going to have to bring my phone next time so we can use that and track some grouse. But anyway, so a lot of your video games that normally use just your finger, like a finger, will likely work for your mouse, okay? Because, like, I have a game called Truck 'em All, and Truck 'em All works fine just clicking with my mouse. Normally I'm with my finger holding anywhere I want on the screen, makes the truck go. It's kind of a simplistic, stupid, mindless automaton game, but it is still freaking fun, okay? I will admit. Now, of course, we do have the new Passwords app, which we have as part of iOS 15 as well, so we don't really need to talk about that. What we need to talk about is all the bad stuff. The phone side. When your phone decides somebody wants to call you on your phone, it kicks you out of the app so you can answer the phone. Okay, that's good. So, phone is priority for incoming. And it kicks you off the app in order to accomplish that. So you can pick up your phone and, or answer it and hit speakerphone. But here's the problem. You can't make any phone calls at this point in the game. Now here's the other thing. I went through not less than 7 texts yesterday, probably more. And a couple of them, of course, went through my computer with me via sharing. And originally we couldn't even do a computer sharing thing with my first guy, so we had to actually do a sharing through my iPad because he needed to see what was going on with the app on my computer. So we had to do sharing that way, fire up my camera, and my camera was able to view my screen, and for that, he was able to see what was going on. That was interesting. Anyways, but now sharing all of a sudden works since reloading Sequoia from a USB stick now, but previous to that, I did reload it, and it would only allow me Sonoma and then upgrade again to Sequoia. Now, I am going to tell you this. Every time you update your OS via updates, well, it does chew up more space and more RAM. But if you wait it out until the full installer, okay, not the partial rec, okay, if you waited for the full installer to get up onto the App Store, then you can just reformat your drive once you've backed up all your important stuff off your main drive, and then just reinstall a pure, unadulterated, full-blown operating system, which will chew far less space on your drive and will chew less RAM to the desktop. okay? Otherwise, with the update, Sequoia chooses 7.68 gigabytes worth of RAM. That's pretty near 8 gigs of RAM. And I only got 16 in my Mini, and it can't go any higher. Even from the factory, it was maxed at 16 gigs when I ordered it, because it's as high as it could go. It's an M1 Mini. What do you want? Okay? So, that means that pretty soon, the Kevster is going to have to make a decision between one toy or a new computer. And the M4s are about to be released. And I'm kind of waiting it out either way, because I still have to wait until probably February before I can get access to money again in order to buy a new computer or the other toy I want, which in my case, that toy is a targeting bow, which is going to cost me about as much as the new M4, so I have a decision to make. Anyways, we'll see what happens, which way I go. But right now it's not critical, okay? And it's still not going to be critical for a while, because I at least have 8 full gigs of RAM left at my disposal. And for what I do on my Mac, I think I'll be okay for a little while, so I avoid virtual memory. But well, I'm going to keep track of things, that's for damn sure. So, all the techs agree that the phone app portion, I should be able to fire up my phone app on my screen here, and I should be able to make calls and also receive incoming calls and answer them on the app. It's supposed to work, but it's not working. In Canada here where I live, okay, but Canada period, Apple has been flooded with people pissing about the phone not being able to be accessible. Among other issues too, I'm sure. And with all the troubleshooting me and all these techs went through, to no avail, we had no success getting the phone app to even work, okay, as part of this mirroring thing. So they're not sure what's going on. So we're hoping the 15.1 fixes that. Unfortunately, from what I've been hearing about the 15.1 beta update, which is in beta form right now for the programmers to test, I'm part of that circle, and I'm not testing the beta. It's been advised to me from a fellow beta tester not to become a user member of the beta stuff until you have a Mac you don't care about, because things can go wrong when you're running beta software because you have no idea, okay? So I'm like, don't want to lose my Mac yet. So I leave that feature turned off, even though I'm still a member regardless. But the day shall come when it shall become a guinea pig. Anyway, so we got just one major issue. To me, it's a major issue, okay? I mean, we can't exactly call somebody on our computer other than FaceTime. Now, FaceTime can be done with and without video, which is fine, but it's not this, right? Like, this separates the entire world. Because I can take this, drag it over here, I can fire up a browser, okay, like Safari, for example. I can fire that up, have a separate window, and I can, kind of like do something like this and, grow it big enough that I can deal with it. And we can just go check out and see what's new in the Mac world. And we can check out some Mac stuff, shop for a Mac, new MacBook Air, whatever. We still got this up. So yeah, we could actually still do Facebook on here and just have our browser going. That's not a big deal, right? Or we can do Messenger, we can check emails. We can do a lot of stuff, okay? But we should also be able to use that phone app, and every technician agrees this was supposed to be a working thing, but for some reason it's not, and they have not figured out yet why that is. And yeah, because, a VPN could be an issue. I don't have a VPN. Antivirus software could be an issue. I don't have antivirus software. Every problem that we tried to figure out, I don't have any of those things. And then going through all of our settings, well, we did have to sign me into FaceTime. For some reason, I wasn't signed into FaceTime on my Mac. But that should have no bearing over the phone part here to go and dial somebody and call them. It shouldn't be even part of that whatsoever. But it is supposed to be a working part of this mirroring app where we can make and receive via the mirroring, right? Right now, when we receive a call, it kicks us off the app when a call comes in. But if we want to make a call, it's still going to kick us off the app because we're going to have to make a call. So if I go up to my phone, for example, which sits up here, and I want to make a call to somebody, well, I'm actually going to do it down here because my passcode is my passcode. Anyways. All right, so now I'm into my phone. You'll notice it just kicked me off. Okay, but if I close my phone back up, I put it back up here, I hit connect, I reconnect. No problem. Piece of cake. So, there's not much else to really tell you guys other than let's all hope that Apple actually listens to everybody, fixes this problem as part of 15.1, or maybe we're going to have like a 15.1.1 update. Who the heck knows? Whenever they can get it fixed, because it is supposed to be working, okay? There are things that won't, but you know, what are we going to do for a microphone? I have an external mic plugged into my Mac, so my microphone should work either way, even with the sound-only recording software in our iPhone, but it doesn't recognize my mic. Yet, if I want to watch videos on this thing on YouTube, I can fire up the browser, watch YouTube, and the sound is ported to my speakers, which is fine by me. That doesn't matter. I don't care, right? That's good. Besides, better quality sound from real speakers, right? So, for all the things we can do, in one sense it's a good app, but in the other sense it is kind of dumb because you can open up a pile of tabs like your Facebook, your Messenger, you know, separate whatever you want to do. You can have all that stuff already because it's all the same crap that's on here on your thing already. And on top of that, if you have a camera, like you're going to use your phone as a continuity camera, well, guess what? You can do FaceTime on your Mac. So why do we want to do FaceTime off of this app? We don't need to, and we can't anyways at this point because it doesn't recognize the camera. It says it's out of service because the phone has been taken over by the app, and the app isn't supporting any of your cameras. And it's not supporting your microphone, which, okay, fine, but why won't it support an external mic that's coming in? It's just an app after all. It should be able to reroute itself through a node somewhere. Right? Apparently not yet. So Apple's got some work to do. They got some refinement. It's not just that whole artificial intelligence crap that they didn't give us yet, but they're going to give it to us soon. They got to fix these bugs, these problems. These have to be addressed because that is literally pissing off a lot of people. Now, and that's just Canada. And they've been getting flooded at Apple Canada from people, right? So it's kind of like, well, yeah, well, you know, you should fix this. But nobody on YouTube's crapping about this that I found so far. None of the tech channels have even mentioned, oh, by the way, this is such a great thing. Oh, Apple is so wonderful. Look at everything you can do. And it's so really cool. But they didn't mention the fact that, oh, by the way, you can receive calls, but you'll get kicked off the app. Your camera is not going to work. Nobody said anything about that I recall anyway. But they certainly didn't mention that you can't make phone calls. Okay, now if I can't make it and a whackload of other people in Canada can't do it, well, nobody's going to be able to do it, right? And I've gotten on videos and told these tech channels, phone app don't work on the phone through the mirroring app. You can't make calls while your phone is being sucked away by this, you know? And of course, I think I got one response, but I can't remember what the heck the guy said. But I told him, I said, you know, it's not going to work. So anyway, that's pretty much about what concludes this. So stay tuned. If Apple fixes it, I will be sure to update you guys. But that's only if they fix it. Otherwise, you won't hear another word out of me about a part 3. But if you do get a part 3, then it's because they fixed the problems, and now we're all going to know. But in the meantime, yeah, that's the way we sit. This is what your dilemmas are going to be. So don't go reloading your Mac other than for the simple purpose of I think that you should seriously consider back up your drive, format your drive, but first make your USB boot stick because going through your computer and holding the power button trick, that ain't working yet. And it probably won't work until maybe now that I have a pure OS on here. It may work now and I won't need my stick again, but then again, we're getting a 15.1 update soon 2, so it'll just be Mac OS 15.1 at that point that they'll change on the server. So anyway, that's it. That's all. See ya.